welcome back to Matchbox Revival. Today I'm doing the 73 series, 73A. 73A was the RAF 10-ton pressure refueler. This particular one here doesn't have a lot of paint left on it. Looks like it's well played with. So this one carried on from 1959 till 1962, where it was replaced by the Ferrari. This one's in great shape, just needs some stickers and a driver. And then in 1968, the station wagon took over that 73 series. Two little dogs in the back. Anyhow, so fresh paint, a little cleanup. Variations of this model was the support in between the refueler and the tank. There was a little support inside. There are different sizes of those. There is a small hole inside the back here. It was open and closed. And gray and black wheels. If you find one with black wheels, keep it. It's worth upwards $3,000 Canadian. Anyhow, looking forward to the build. Today I'm going to start off with the disassembly first. I usually do paint matching. There is a slot that comes through that they seem to split and bend over both sides to hold it down, with a slot in the front. So a little bit of pry here, we might be able to get this section up. There we go, perfect. Okay, and the back had a cap on the tank, which was pressed in. I'll be gentle with that. I don't want to make any marks on it, but that should pop off. There you go. And nothing inside. You would think that the guy, when he assembled it, would have put a little surprise inside. I would have. Anyhow, so we're going to color match now. Probably remove these wheels and get a color match off. The only area I have is here. And I have a little bit of paint here to try and color match to. The wheel axles are very rusted, and the wheels will not spin. So I need them to spin enough that they get away from the rounded over end, so that I can get the Dremel stone bit and grind off that side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray them with WD-40, and hopefully it penetrates enough that I can spin the wheels, try and save the axles. The axles can be remade out of nails, but I prefer to use the original, just to keep it completely original. Anyhow, I managed to get the wheels loose enough from the WD-40 to wind down. And I stole this idea from a great restorer online. He goes by Paul Restorer, Polish gentleman. He does some amazing stuff. You should check out his site, definitely. So he picks a piece of plastic. What I did was I drilled a 1.6 millimeter hole and then cut it with a knife. And what I do is I slide it over top of the wheel, and it pops into place like this and protects the wheel, so that when you're grinding it with the stone, it doesn't touch the wheel. Fantastic idea. So I tried real hard, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get the wheels off these axles without damaging them. So resort to making new axles. I'll probably make them out of rivets. I do have nails, but the nail diameter is wrong. Okay, so the wheels are off, and next will be color matching. So because I have a shortage of paint, the last model I did was 20B. It was blue. and I had leftover paint from it, so I used up some of that. And the base color from 29A kind of made a mishmash because I knew it was a dirty gray blue color, and added some brown, a little bit of white, and a load of black, and I'm right in here right now. So the color's good for the amount of paint that I could get a sample from. I think I'm pretty good. So we'll strip what little bit of paint there is on it, and then we'll prime it. Okay, so using my strong paint stripper, again, there's very little paint on the model, so I'm just going to put it in here for maybe an hour or so, and wire brush the rest off. So I thought while the paint stripper was working, I would think about the axles. I have my little tray here of different possibilities. So I ordered these online. The diameter of these are 1.7, and the factory axles 1.6. So they're a little bigger. I'll run them through sandpaper, and I will get them to look pretty much the same. So these rivets have a little deficiency on the ends of them there. So I will start and sand this out and get the diameter down to 1.6. So into the drill, 220 sandpaper, a little more aggressive, and hold it right across the whole nail. I'll let you keep checking the diameter. And getting 1.6 in some areas, 1.7, 1.6. So give it a little more sanding, then some 2000 sandpaper to polish it up nice, and they should work well. And the 2000 sandpaper. And we'll take it off the drill by clipping it, so I know the area inside the drill never got sanded, so the diameter's not down. So we'll take it from where I need it. So that ended up being quite an undertaking. I think I spent 45 minutes or so sanding these axles down, getting them to the right diameter that they would go through the wheels. And rounding the other ends off to make it look like a factory finish. I ended up using a file. When I spun them on the drill, I ran the file back and forth on them to knock it down a little bit faster. That worked pretty good. So anyhow, I'll check on the paint stripper now. Paint stripping turned out great. There wasn't a lot of paint on the model anyway. All the areas came off pretty easy. So we'll start with the wire wheel, and we'll start polishing the metal. So I give it all pretty good clean. Now what I'll do is some lacquer thinners, and I'll give it a little wipe down. See how dirty it is. So I thought today I would show my spray booth setup. I just got a plastic bin, and I cut a hole in the top put some ductwork with an inline fan that runs straight out my window. And that's my spray booth. So the body of the model has a lot of areas that are very hard to spray into. So I'll put a couple of very light coats. While the paint's drying on the model, I'm going to attack these wheels again. They are pretty clean, but they have rust from the axles. So I'm going to take them off and give them a good scrubbing in some soapy water, and get the paint off my hands probably at the same time, hopefully. If not, I'll need lacquer thinner to get that off. Anyhow, toothbrush method, soapy water, and just give them a good scrubbing. Here's all the parts ready for assembly. We'll start with the axles and wheels. And as usual, we'll pick the best side of the wheels for the outside. And the axles are a little bit long right now. So we'll cut them down. As usual, I like to tap the end of the axle so it starts to mushroom down and lays flat. A lot of hobbyists, that's all they do. Now, pretty much the axle, the wheel won't come off anymore. But I like to round it off. Makes it look like how they did it in the factory. So. And a couple spins of the drill. Get that axle rounded off. And you get that mushroom finish. So I got all the wheels on. They turned out really nice. So I have the front section to install now. Front tab goes in the front. And there's that little small slot that's been split over. Usually it just will click onto there. Perfect. Now, and we have the tail section. So the ladder goes all the way to the top on one part and not on the other. So I think that's the bottom. I will check it. So now it's time for the decal. There was a Air Force Circle. I did some research on that particular one, and I have to look through all my little stickers here, decals. There it is. I just saw it. So according to what I found out, and if anybody knows better than I do, please leave a comment. But I think this particular style came in a 1947 after the war. There was different designs. Darker black ones were for night raid planes, and other ones for pre-war and during the war. So this one I think came in 1947. So take it out and we'll trim it and install it. So a little dish of lukewarm water. There's the water slide decal. Put it in and put a little bit of water on the area where you're going to be working. Gives you a little time to slide it around. And it's hit the bottom. Perfect. So with the chrome pen, I put a little bit of ink on a plastic jar. And this model only had chrome on the front bumper. That was it. So there you have it, the 73A 10-ton pressure refueler. I'll post at the end of the video a real picture of this vehicle. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.